You know that feeling when you wake up, look at the clock, and think, this is going to be my day. You've got the perfect outfit laid out, your to-do list is looking manageable, and you even managed to make your bed before leaving the house. Life feels like it's finally on track. You're crushing it. And then, bam! Life hits you with a curveball. The car won't start. The coffee spills all over your new white shirt. You've got 12 unread emails from your boss. And it's only 8:15 a.m. Ever had one of those days? Or weeks? Or months? Yeah, we all have. Everything is going wrong. And that's when someone, probably that one overly cheerful friend, comes up to you and says, just trust God. Easy for them to say, right? But how do you trust God when everything seems to be falling apart? When nothing's going your way? Let's dive in and break this down because, spoiler alert, you're not alone in this. We've all been there. Scrolling through Instagram, seeing how perfect everyone else's life seems. Karen just got back from a vacation in Italy. Rick just got promoted to some fancy-sounding job, and you're over here just trying to find 2 matching socks. And then, that little voice creeps in. Why can't my life be like that? The truth is, trusting God doesn't mean everything will be Instagram perfect. God's not curating your life for a highlight reel. Trusting Him means knowing that He's got a plan, even when things look like, well, like a mess. Trust isn't about ignoring the chaos. It's about finding peace in the middle of it. It's like having faith that your GPS knows where it's going, even though you've driven past the same gas station 3 times. Speaking of GPS, you ever been driving somewhere minding your own business and suddenly your GPS just decides to reroute you? Like, hey, I know you wanted to take Main Street, but let's go through 3 alleys, across a cornfield, and maybe even detour through Narnia. Trusting God is a lot like that. We set our course, we've got the plan, and then life reroutes us. Sometimes we end up in places we never expected. And honestly, sometimes those places stink. It's hard to trust when you're stuck in life traffic and you're like, God, this isn't where I wanted to be. But remember this, detours often lead to destinations that weren't even on your map. Sure, it might feel like you're driving in circles now, but trust me, God's version of the map, it's next level. He sees the whole route, construction zones, roadblocks, and all. And He's got a purpose for every detour. You know those trust falls? The ones where you're supposed to close your eyes and just fall backward? Everyone else is like, don't worry, we got you. But in your mind, you're thinking, these people? Are you kidding me? That's kind of what trusting God feels like sometimes. It's scary. It doesn't always make sense. But here's the thing. While people might let us down, God doesn't. God's track record, it's flawless. And He's not just standing there hoping to catch you. He's already planned the fall and the rise afterward. So when everything's going wrong, it's about falling into His arms, even when it feels like you're free falling through chaos. Let's get real for a minute. When things go wrong, our immediate reaction is usually, why God? Why did I lose my job? Why is this relationship falling apart? Why does it feel like everything is going wrong at once? Look, we're not the first ones to ask God, why? Even the Bible is full of people wondering what God is doing. Joseph's brothers literally threw him in a pit. Moses got stuck between an army and an ocean. David had to hide in caves from King Saul. But here's what all those stories have in common. God came through, every time. It wasn't always in the way they expected or on their timeline, but God had a plan. And spoiler alert, His plan was better. When life throws those why moments at you, remember that God sees the big picture. You might be in a pit, but God's already planning your palace. Now let's not sugarcoat it. Life is messy, it's not always picture perfect, and it doesn't always go as planned. But here's the secret sauce. Trusting God doesn't mean everything is going to magically get better overnight. Sometimes, trusting God looks like finding joy in the mess, not after the mess. It's like laughing when you spill your coffee because, well, what else are you going to do? Life's too short to cry over spilled milk, or spilled lattes for that matter. So how do you trust God when everything is going wrong? You remember that your chaos isn't too big for Him. You embrace the detours, trust the falls, ask the whys, and laugh through the spills. Trusting God doesn't mean you won't have hard days. It just means that on those hard days, you know you're not walking through them alone. He's with you every messy step of the way. And who knows? Maybe this mess is the beginning of something beautiful that you just can't see yet. So, next time life feels like it's falling apart, just remember, God's got this and He's got you. Now go find some matching socks and take on the day. Hey there! If you enjoy this content even half as much as I enjoy making it, do me a solid and smash that like button. And if you want to join this wacky Christian adventure of epic proportions, hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Thanks for being awesome.